morning, y'all. Been a minute. Un momento, por favor. I got some updates. Wow. First off, again, like, the camera doesn't look right. It looks flushed. It doesn't look natural. I want to point that out. I don't like it. I wish it had the natural one. Looks like there's like a filter or something. It's fucking bothering me. Second, so at work, I finally like cracked the celibacy kick. I've been seeing this chick for like 2 weeks now. It's alright. She's sweet and all. But I guess like that's not really what I'm gonna talk about. I don't know, what's been plaguing my mind is this other chick that I used to work with. And she hit me up like 2 days ago, asking me like, hey, what's up? And I was like, oh, we should hang out. You know, fucking, so I'm really bad about like communicating, texting, all that shit. She's like, yeah, totally. And we used to work out at the gym together. I wouldn't say we really worked out at the gym together, but we'd run into each other there a couple times. So I was like, fuck it, let's go to the gym. So I do that yesterday. I show up. She doesn't. I tell her I'm on my way. She doesn't respond. I'm there for almost 2 hours until she finally writes back and was like, hey, shit, I just woke up, blah, blah. Alright, that's fine, whatever. I'll be here. Because I know she just lives right down the street. So she shows up, and it's all good, warm welcome, talking, blah, blah, blah. And then, I don't know how else to put this. I want to be very careful with what I say, but and how I say it. But how casually she talks about how she gets sexually assaulted, and another thing is how often. And then she was telling me this story about this dude that that I worked with, you know, at the job that, you know, she's at and all that shit. And she's just telling me the story on like how this guy just casually sexually assaults her, but then she doesn't do anything about it. Like, she's like, yeah, I just let it happen, da da da. And I'm not saying I don't believe her, but what I'm trying to say is I'm piecing together each and every single time like she's mentioned it, because that is not the first time, because she's done it before in the past. Like, there is a pattern. There is a pattern. And then I'm thinking about my own interactions with her, because there was an attraction. I let it be known. I asked for her phone number. We started flirting. It was all good and gravy. But then I remember one time we're flirting, and all of a sudden she's like, whoa. I'm like, oh shit, my bad. And maybe like she has some past trauma, but that's not what I'm talking about. And we'll get to that in a minute. All I'm trying to highlight here is, like, for me, my interactions with this woman, that you know, it was like a game of red light, green light. You know, regardless of why she was doing it, that's what it was. And it's like, and I can't help but wonder like how other men took that, you know, with her. And I can't imagine like you're out and like, and if these all I can think about is if these men like they go to make moves, and whenever all of a sudden she's like hesitant or pushes away, and they're like, oh, so you're just playing hard to get. And they, cause like, and like they don't have, these men aren't like very attractive men. They're not like guys that can get it very easily. And I hate to say that and like highlight that right here, but it's true. Whereas me, it's not like, as soon as like a chick like throws up like, hey, it's not like that, whatever, I immediately go, no, I'm good, and I go about my way. Because the same shit happened with another chick. Before I left Washington, like we're talking, hanging out, flirting, all that shit, grabbing ass, whatever you want to call it. And then we go to hang out one time, and she's like, hey, we're not gonna have sex. And I go, okay. But then like she proceeded to like flirt with me more, start grabbing me, fucking, we were kissing, fucking touching, all this shit. But I'm still like, something's off here, because she too was very casual on how she would talk about being sexually assaulted. Like, she was just casually throwing out these buzzwords. And I was like, that's suspicious. In my book, that's weird. Like, you're just, it's because it's like it didn't affect her. It's like it had no bearing, no. And I was like, whereas that chick was inviting it, and I know she was, and no one can fucking walk me away from that. So then with this one, I'm like, something don't add up. It's weird. And so I kept my distance, right? I know I'm all over the board, I apologize. But then again, I'm thinking back to these guys. I'm like, imagine a guy like you, like, you get this one chance, you know what I mean? Because some guys go through life with only like having sex with like maybe 1, 2, 3 women in their life, and like this is one of those times. And like, and a woman can and will, like, you know, play hard to get, because, you know, she doesn't want to seem like she's easy or whatever. And like, there's definitely a fucking gray area is all I'm trying to fucking highlight. How she was explaining this one dude, it seems like he was putting on music, he's trying to set the mood, like he was like just trying to get next to her and all this shit. And then like, it seems like he's trying to fucking put moves on her. And then like, she was like, no, I don't want this. Well, she was telling me she didn't want it. But then when she was like, but then in the moment, like, I couldn't help but wonder, I was like, why didn't you dial 911? Why didn't you remove yourself from the situation? Why didn't it maybe like you felt threatened and all this shit, right? But then this is where like I'm sensing a pattern. This has happened time after time after time. Just in this short amount of time, I've known this chick maybe 9 months, and we've only talked, you know, fucking a handful of times, like, you know, and every time it's like such a fucking a theme. It's such a fucking hot topic with her. And I'm like, that's suspicious. Because, like, I've been with more than my fair share of women. And I can tell you that, like, there's some that fucking talk about it. And it's like, no, you've been through fucking trauma. You can tell. Because I've been through fucking trauma. You could Google my shit. You could Google my story. So, like, I know real ones, because I've been through it. And I tell you, I don't just casually bring it up in conversation every time I fucking meet someone. There's inconsistencies. And this is where I have the problem. And all I'm trying to say is that people that try to weaponize these fucking buzzwords and these fucking events that others go through. I'm not saying, again, she might have gone through some shit and fucking and processed it differently and all that shit, and I fucking feel for her. But I swear to God, like, I feel like it's fucking stretching into other fucking avenues. And if you're taking your past traumas and fucking, and it's resonating within your new ones without you, then maybe you should get fucking therapy before you start dating. Maybe you should go see a shrink before you fucking, you become sexually active with others. Like, I think you should fucking process that shit, because clearly, like, your past traumas are affecting your present and your future. Again, I've been with plenty of women, and honestly, I don't think I've ever met a woman that has not been sexually assaulted. I take that back. Like, I was even talking about that with my with someone. I don't. I want to give out. No, I'll say it. My ex-wife. I was talking about it with my ex-wife, and because same thing. We had the same conversation. She's like, I know one girl that has not been sexually assaulted. One. Right. Yeah, like, because it's so fucking common. So again, I'm not sitting here saying she's lying. But I also want to fucking highlight that something's off. Something's, and I feel like it's like villainizing these guys. Or even me, because like I said, she even did that shit with me. And I fucking backed off. I said, whoa, shit, alright. Nope, it's like that. Understood. And I fucking immediately shut it down. But then she would come back up and start fucking flirting again. That's where it's wrong. If it's a no, then it's a no. You start telling me like, hey, I went through some trauma, shit, or whatever. Immediately, I'm like, fuck, that's it. But then, like, you try to make it seem like you're fucking... No, that's fucking suspicious. That's so... not right. I can keep talking about like how you keep, like, if you keep putting yourself in that situation, yeah, like, there's a pattern here. It's like, what are you doing? Like, you know this ain't right. And she even said, like, I don't know, I just didn't feel right. I was like, well, then it's up to you to remove yourself from the situation. Of course it's never fucking right for a fucking someone to do that, if that's the case. Yeah, absolutely. It's fucking horrid. No one has to fucking point that out. Like, we all collectively fucking know that. Okay? To some degree, it has to be up to you. You have to be cognizant of fucking, and aware and conscious of whatever you want to call it, of fucking certain dangers. And like, and maybe she's just not wired that way. I can't help but wonder. Like, again, I'm trying to psychoanalyze. I'm trying to fucking pull it apart, and I'm trying to understand, like, what would possess someone to do that? Because I think she is, like, attracted to men, and she wants to have, have relationships with them. But like, I can't help but wonder, like, what that looks like a healthy one. I want to dig deeper. I want to know more. I want to know, like, in her mind, what does it look like from start to finish? By the time you fucking meet a guy, or fucking he shows interest or whatever, or she's interested or whatever, to fucking to the time you guys are fucking having sex. What does that look like? Because I can tell you, again, like, and I, in fear of repeating myself, but here I go. When a girl says, no, I'm good, shuts it down, I'm like, alright, that's fucking it. You immediately said no. It's no longer a thing. But then, like, you keep pushing forward with it. Like how she was telling the story, she was making it seem like she was just sitting there, like, not engaging at all. Like, this guy was just fucking all around and just fucking making all these moves and all these grand gestures, and she was just sitting there like, what's going on? And that just seems so fucking inconsistent. I don't know, dude. And that's another thing, like, because she also said about the gym, like, one time, like, to go to the gym, she's like, yeah, one guy was following me around, and I was uncomfortable, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll go with you. That's what I'm saying, like, she casually talks about this shit, not just casually, and that's not what I'm trying to say. I have to be so careful with this, because it's such a fucking sensitive subject. I mean, such a hot topic. It's happening way too often. Like, I just, you know, fuck it, I'll say it. I don't fucking believe it. I'm not saying it doesn't happen every time or whatever the fuck, but there's sometimes where it's complete bullshit. Some guy falling around in a gym. I'm sorry, like, it's like, I go to the gym and, like, I fucking sit there and watch, and, like, I don't fucking see it. I don't fucking see it at all. There's fucking some fucking beautiful fucking women in there. And all this shit. And, like, it's like, I'm so fucking aware of this shit because of my shit I've been through and all this shit. And it's like, and it fucking pisses me off that, like, people use this such a sensitive and such a fucking hot topic, and they just fucking casually throw around these fucking buzzwords to fucking garner attention for themselves. Because it sucks, because this chick, like, she has a fucking great personality. She's very bubbly. She's very fucking outgoing. She has fucking so much going for her. And I can't help but wonder why. Why are you doing this? And I know it's happening. I know it's fucking... No one can fucking tell me otherwise in my own experience with her. Fuck, it pisses me off. But again, like, I try to fucking... It makes me upset, but then I want to go deeper, and I want to know why. What's going on? What's the fucking... the root cause? Maybe there is just one thing that happened, and, like, this is just how it's affected her for the rest of her life. But at what point, like, do you not take responsibility and go, okay, now I gotta move past it? Again, go to therapy, go to fucking a shrink, whatever the fuck. You know, like, to fucking work through it. Because now it's affecting not just your own fucking personal life and, like, your sex life and your fucking future, but now it's affecting other people's, because you're fucking tarnishing reputations. Like, casual defamation of character? What the fuck is wrong with these fucking girls? One chick, fucking, that first chick before I fucking left Washington, straight just says she liked it like that. I'm like, oh fuck, which I'm not against. Like, goddamn, we gotta build up some fucking rapport. We gotta fucking build up something before I'm just gonna, like, we're jumping into that shit. Like, when it's our first interaction, nah, And some guys, hey, whatever. Some guys will fucking go through with it, and, you know, and at the end, it is all fucking cool and shit. Whatever. Hey, fucking great. Good for you. Awesome possum, Mufasa. But not me, man. Like, I gotta know there's back and forth. That's tough. That's really tough. weird. Shit, what else? So like I said, I don't know, I've been seeing this chick casual. I'm learning that. I'm learning just to keep it fucking casual. Like, I'm not trying to keep it fucking more so or whatever. You know, like, but then there's like, because it's at work and people know about it, people are putting a lot of pressure on it. They're trying to influence like us being together and all this shit, and it's fucking. That's a whole other thing. I don't know. I gotta get going, but hopefully I'll make another video on that later. Yee.